Something to try to see if you can't narrow down where the issue is when you have your computer booted up, hit Control Alt Delete at the same time. So all three buttons, Control Alt Delete. You should see this screen that asks you to click on the Task Manager. It's the last option. So just click on the Task Manager, and something like this should pop up. If it doesn't, it might look like this, and then you can click the More Details to see more. You'll also have a list of options up here. So we want to make sure we're on processes, and this will show you this is how much processor is being used, memory, and then disk and network, and then the graphics card. So you can actually sort by clicking here. We can sort by what's using the least or the most. So for example, we can see here that my Chrome, my web browser, is using the most of my memory, and I'm using about 38% of my CPU, about 63% of my memory. A couple things to look out for is the CPU maxed, is the memory maxed, is the disk maxed. This is if something is reading or writing to the disk, you don't want this to be very high. You can also check and see if the graphics card is reporting anything as well, but that's not going to be as big of a deal. If you see something that is just dominating or using a lot of one of these resources, whichever one it is, and again, these are the three resources you want to focus on, that can tell you if it's a program running in the background that's causing the problem. If it's not a single program that's causing it, but these are still high, then that can also hint at it as well. If these are relatively low and it's still slow, that means that there's something else going on. Maybe hardware, maybe some sort of viral infection, something along those lines. But the first thing to check are here. You can also look at performance history for each of these if you need to see kind of how it's changed over time. But it gets a little harder to interpret this information. The first thing to start up, especially if it's slow, is check to see what's going on with these three settings.